Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today I'm with a very special guest, the one and only Blake Anthony.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
You're the first Blake on the podcast besides myself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. It's like the dual Blakes thing is cool, man. I like that, man. I like that. And,
I have my best friend actually is named Blake as well.
Oh, yeah?
And his last name is Ashton, so it's Blake A as well, and you're Blake A too.
So
he's the white Blake, though. So
you get the BA from both sides. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's what's up.
Have you ever been told your name is very white, though?
That was interesting. I used to get that a lot, all the time, man. Like in every grade, you know what I'm saying? It never fails. But luckily, I don't hear that much out here. So
hell yeah,
there's that.
You want to hear a crazy story?
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, I went to like an all-white school, like an elementary school at least, and middle school and high school, it got a little bit more diverse, but still, I was like the token black kid. But in elementary school, there was only one other black girl in the entire school, and she was in my grade. So people would say we were dating just because we were fucking black.
Yeah. Y'all was automatically paired. It was the imagination factory.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's how it goes, man.
But yeah, I want to hear your entire life story. And you're not even from Seattle. You're you're a transplant, like people like to say.
Yeah. It's funny because there's it was destiny to land here inevitably, man. And I came out here from Texas, which is like a totally different vibe, but people are just the same everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like a whole story of just bouncing around place to place. But I'm originally from Kansas, man. I'm from Topeka, Kansas. Shout out Top City. Only city with the 666 zip code. So
oh shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's cool.
I'm guessing there's a lot of cults out there then. There just has
nah, the KKK is prevalent, but
oh shit.
Nah, it ain't culty out there. I don't even think most people even be recognizing that that's in the zip code. That was just something I found out on accident. I was talking to my mom about my birth house, where I was, due to be born, in Buchanan and in Topeka, and I got the zip code one day and was just like 66604. That's crazy. What the hell? And I was just looking at all the zip codes. I'm like, I guess I was living at 66619 and we had 66608, and damn, that shit has always been like that. Oh, excuse me, But it's just crazy, Really, it's not that big a deal. Anyways, so I get a lot of questions about the 666 top city thing, and a lot of people be like, what you talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? Be careful writing that. And I'm just like, it means something different for me.
Have you seen the Little Nas shoes that came out?
Yeah, that was crazy with the pentagon on there.
And it was like a
pentagram.
And a drop of human blood in every pair.
Yeah, how were they doing that? Is it in the side part on the sole where you can see it moving like gel?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I was looking at an interview, and the craziest part, the creators of the shoes, they're called Mischief.
Yeah.
Everyone on that team, that's their blood. So people were like, whose blood is it? Someone was like, is it chicken's blood? But then there was an interview came out, it was the Mischief team's blood. And
they just we'll make this sacrifice. Oh, that's crazy.
But now they're getting sued by Nike.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's not actually it's not a Nike collab. They're just using the shoe. And of course, the whole point was to get attention.
Exactly. And Nike's you got too much attention over there.
Yeah.
We want that attention.
And of course, there was only 666 pairs sold too.
I saw that too. And I know they were flying off the shelves too. I think he was selling the pairs for 1,000.
Yeah.
1,000, 20 or something like that.
Nuts.
Yeah. The red and black was clean.
Yeah.
And a video got dropped or something too.
Did you watch the video?
I hadn't seen the video, but I mean, it's probably tight.
It's very. People think it's definitely very gay, of course, but it's dope as hell.
Yeah. I'm sure it's very done up because the Lil Nas X video.
He's twerking on Satan and shit. It's crazy.
The one before that was for the Super Bowl, but he was in all blue ice or something, and he had a mustache. He had a wig and a beard.
Holiday.
Yeah, the holiday video. The holiday video is crazy. It's what?
That beat is insane. I actually love that song.
Yeah, so I'll watch that new one, even though the devil's in it. But whatever,
Are you a Christian man?
I don't know, man. I'm a spaceman.
You're a universe man.
Spaceman.
I could see it. I could hear it from your music.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. I'm like, there's more in spirituality than assigned religion. But I can't even knock religion because like they all have their their disciplines that like lead you to better lives, and ultimately that's what religion is supposed to be trying to show you, is how to live a better life.
Yeah. But
I can't get with the you can't do this part and stuff like that. Like all that, I like the spirituality got to just flow with your life. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to find something, but it ain't got to be, necessarily rules and, and hatred and divisiveness and exclusion.
Right. Did that come from moving to Seattle, or were you spiritual in Kansas?
Oh yeah, like my dad was a avid churchgoer.
Okay.
That's like, we used to do it chill though. It's like, we go a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it wasn't like, some days was missed. It is what it is. And he gonna catch the game. But it's like I got baptized at Lane Chapel, and shout out Top City. And for me, it was like a thing that I had to do and a thing that was being done, but I never like attached to me the why and like the everything with it and stuff. And that ain't even like the religion's fault. It's just like my time in my life and what my deacons or whatever had to offer me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, shout out to my brother Ash. Me and him always been super into like anime and like writing stories and like drawing characters. So I always had like some like, there's probably like some universal yada 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 going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if it's like we just in somebody's hand and like it's just staring at the universe in his hand. You know what I'm saying? Or like, I mean, my brother's talking about like, what if like when you pass on, like and you die, you just see like a game over screen, and then you like taking the headset off, and then you're in the arcade. Like,
oh shit,
that was crazy. Like, I was like, man, that would be crazy. I'd be like a little underwhelmed. I'd be like, oh, well, I just lost the game. Like, what? That's it.
Oh shit, yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I think religion kind of just missed me, but there's values in all the different religions for sure.
It was weird. I interviewed my first like actual Christian rapper like a week ago.
Like putting out Christian rap? Like,
yeah, he's like an actual like legit. And I because from the outside perspective, I'm like, yeah, people are not really as into religion right now.
Yeah.
But then he said something that like, I was like, oh shit, I wasn't thinking it from a Christian perspective. He was like, in the times we're living in right now, people hate God. I was like, oh shit, I didn't think about how Christians think about it.
For real though, like, oh shit, y'all, so you really think it's going down right now? And I mean, like, I can see that, like, people like being like, damn, motherfuckers really out here hate God right now. Like, for real. Yeah, I feel that, man.
I just don't get, I think, like I tell everyone, I think the universe is a better thing because it incorporates every single religion. In my opinion, it incorporates everything. But then when you look at Christianity, there's only one God, Yeah,
and it's like, there's just, and the fact that you got this book that's been like reinterpreted by so many different people, and still continuously, more information comes out that's like, maybe this is interpreted differently. It's just like, to make something that's based upon rules that you have to follow, or else. And the big thing for me is the or else mindset. It's like, if you don't do this stuff just right, you gonna die, and when you wake up, your feet gonna be on fire. I'd read Dante's Inferno, all three cantos, and like not even 3 cantos, but like the 3 books of Dante's Inferno, and
that's anime, correct?
When you go, oh no, well it is animated, yeah, but then there's like the Purgatorio, Paradiso parts that are like you just read on. It's crazy because he goes to like other planets and stuff, but like, man, it's like there's one punishment where you're like in a hole, and inside the hole you're hella hot, but then your feet are sticking out the top, and then the bottom of your feet are on fire. And I was like, man, like, how God have time to do this? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? You telling me he made that? You know what I mean? And it's like, and if he did, it's like, who are we dealing with? Like, man, what is...
And what if people like that? What if that's someone's king, to be on fire?
But
then
yeah, I mean, exactly.
That's heaven for them.
Then what? Then it's just like, oh, I sent you to the wrong part of hell. My bad. I sent you to this. You gonna get the lashes. Oh, I like that too. Oh, we don't know what to do with you down here. You know what I mean?
Then you're in limbo, right?
Yeah. Then you're stuck. But it's like, and then you get to the end, and we read Paradiso. It's like the Dante eventually gets to the top, and when he beholds the creator, it's like not even on some like, come my child. It's like he just sees this light that's like the light of just creation and like perfectness. And then it just like ends like that. Like it's just him seeing the light, and then it's just like over, and then it's like, oh, okay, like what else could you explain? Like what else is there to see after you see that? And then it just brought me back, like, so if it's just the light of creation, like why would it be thinking about, and then when people do bad, I'm gonna burn their feet and put them in holes and make people swim through tar. It's like that just is like, that's like a very malicious thing to put on something that's supposed to be all knowing and all loving.
Yeah.
And that's where I be getting, have disconnects. So like I said, there's like a lot of discipline and stuff you can get from religions, but all of them usually have some kind of like man-made flaw, human-made flaw that is to be expected because we're all humans writing this shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's interpreted. Like it's continuously interpreted even by each church.
Yeah. And it's just like crazy, And then you got people like, I don't know, I shouldn't be name dropping people, but like you got people like, Creflo Dollar having bought like a $60 million plane or something. There was another dude way back, what is it now? I don't remember his name, but shout out to Waffles, my homie Josh. He showed me a video of him like tripping. Oh no, me, Josh, and Ash were watching it in the kitchen, and he was like tripping on a lady who asked him about like, why did you spend these millions on this plane? And he was like, the Lord said I should have it. And it's like, man, that's crazy.
Jesus would have a Rolls Royce if he was still around.
He needs to be able to get to his disciples faster. Like, come on, man. And then it's like, and then I'm supposed to go to your church tomorrow. Like, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyways.
Wait, but if people don't, I think there's a difference between not believing in God and not believing in God.
Right, exactly.
But are those, if just because you don't believe in God, does that mean you're an atheist?
No.
Because I think people can accept like the community aspect of God and everything. But
It's like, is atheism just a non-belief in God, or is that like I don't believe in nothing? Or no, that's
like how far is it away from being satanic and atheist?
Yeah, right. But see, crazy is the Satanism church. Interestingly enough, when the Syrian refugees were trying to find places to like basically be in America, you know what I'm saying, to escape,
they gave them all little NAST shoots.
It was what was crazy. Yeah, it was just like before they got dropped. But like, yeah, straight up, like you had like people like Joel Osteen shut his church down and be like, nah, nobody can come up in here. Y'all cannot be in here. And it's like, bro, you have a mega church, and I know you have more than just that one. So like, what? But then you got the Satanism people, the Church of Satan, coming and being like, we'll let people in. You know what I'm saying? Taking in refugees and shit like that.
Yeah.
At the same time. Now, that's a move, you know what I'm saying? Anybody with a brand is going to like try to make a move that's going to help them capitalize. But it's also like, at the end of the day, they had somewhere to lay their head if they had to pick between A and B. And A is the Church of God and B is the Church of Satan. And the Church of Satan came out talking about, we'll take in the refugees.
Oh, shit.
So it's just kind of, when you just see stuff like that, it's crazy. And then it's like, is that about people hating God? It's like, no. Where would you place Joel? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't hate God, but you also don't like these people. So like, what that mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man.
I feel like no matter what you do, everyone's brainwashed in one way or not. Whether you're religious or not religious, whatever you're doing, you just gotta accept it.
Yeah. And then find a way to be happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? The sun is gonna be out at some point in time.
Just not in Seattle.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? But at least it ain't like Animatrix times. Like I watched that, I watched that probably like it's probably a couple months ago now. But like they like
that's
the
insane.
people shot the sky out to block the sun to defeat the machines, and I'm just like, that's such a terrible plan. Like, like what do you mean? Like
they live underground now too.
Yeah, we're good. And it's like the machines was like, we're just gonna eat y'all then. Anyways,
but think about how crazy. You can say the movie's dated, or you can say it's still a good movie, but no matter what, that concept to actually be able to put that together in 3 fucking movies.
Yeah, for real though. Yeah.
That's insane.
Straight up, yeah.
Like I could not create a movie like that ever.
I love to get into making some movies, some like B movies. I want to make like some funny B movies, like Half Baked type movies.
Oh god,
that might not be counted as a B movie. No shade to Dave Chappelle. That's
I think that was before he was doing comedy by then. I think.
Yeah, but he was like, that's like a.
It's a cult classic.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that ain't like a bad B movie.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But then you got some B movies you get from the Red Box. Watch that. Like they shot that right here in Lakewood.
Oh,
you said that like how they what? That's the McDonald's on 72nd. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about some werewolves. Nah, yeah.
I feel like people, of course, it's like when you see like Twilight or something, it's not actually shot in Washington, right? But I feel like it's shot in like Oregon or Vancouver or something like that, because Seattle's taxes for shooting is too much money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like there needs to be some type of huge organization where every type of artist is accepted and they can just pull their resources together to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like, it can be an independent movie and still be huge, you know?
Yeah.
It's just, there's so many artists. Why was there a pause? Artists. There's so many artists in Seattle alone. I feel like everyone just there needs to be some fucking building or something that, like a hotspot where everyone can just go and connect.
That's real. It's crazy. Like, honestly, shout out to everybody who's like collaborated with me or worked with me in any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So many people, even on Star Stereo. Shout out to Talea, Mr. Hentai, man. Shout out to my brother Chris out in Topeka, Chris White. And man, Bruce Leroy in Tacoma, man. Easily probably one of my favorite verses on that album.
I saw that, yeah.
But like, yeah, Bruce is
Star Radio.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, shout out to everybody who's really open to work, because like, you know, sometimes, you know, it's like sometimes it's like playing video games. Well, it's like playing video games as of late, where it's like you can hit a paywall, like if you play with a phone game, where you're like, the game's fun, but like when I fight anybody else, they done bought all their stuff, so it's like not even fun. And then it's like, what? I can't even do the next quest unless I buy the next chapter. Anyways, different metaphor, whatever, but different. Like, it's like sometimes you try to reach out and work with people, and you meet a paywall where they're like, you know, I'm all for paying people for their work and their art, and I usually try not to get no free work from nobody, but it's at the same time, like, sometimes.
Wait, I have a question though. Is that where artists even make their money though? Like, realistically, unless you're like a mainstream artist, you can't charge like even $5,000 for a verse. So if everyone's charging each other, this is just an outside perspective.
It's like is
it even worth the pay? Like, are you actually getting?
It is, because like everything you're doing, all of the art that you make costs you, you know what I'm saying, your time, your life essence. So like, it is all worth. It's worth doing A, and then the profit B is also worth it. It's just not as equally worth it as just doing it is.
Right.
But it's also the physical manifestation of being able to do it, because once you get the money from doing the shit you love to do, then you can pay for the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, royalties start looking real good, and you able to just throw that on your rent, then it's like, cool, well, then I have all this time where I may not need to be at this job that I sell chickens at. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Or
imitation crab.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, shout out to the imitation crab job, though. When I worked at the Seremi plant, that's how I met DJ Grumble. He wasn't at the plant, but this dude bet me that I couldn't rap to DJ Grumble's beats. And I was like, man, shut up. So then, like, he sent me a link of the beats, and I was staying up all night bumping those. And I really was having a hard time. I was like, man, these are amazing. And then I just, like, stalked his SoundCloud, like, for years. It was, like, a couple years. And then, like, I remember the first time we talked, I was like, man, I want to rap on your beats. And he was like, yeah, man, I'll give it to you for cheap. But, you know, don't be out there performing and making money I'm supposed to be making. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that's real. It's the same thing. It's like, because you plant seeds with your art, and they grow into what time makes them. But each seed is something that you created, and that you like are like, oh, I really love this piece that I've made, and like, this means this to me. Yeah. And then other people get to digest that and be like, wow, this means us. This means this to us. That's part of the painting too. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever this means to somebody else is now a part of the art, because it's like, you can think what you want it to mean, and then somebody else can give you their interpretation, and you know, it's not for you to be like, well, too bad, because that's not what it means, sucker. It's like, you know, it's like you're like, wow, I'm glad that meant that to you. That's like another stroke of color that wasn't even on there when it was in my hands. And then, you know, time goes on, and you know, people win Grammys and stuff like that, or just whatever, you know. It's just like the evolution of your art just keeps on going. And so it's just like, go ahead, you know, get your bag, because then you got time. You know, you ain't got to worry about trying to pay for studio, or you ain't got to worry about trying to be like, I got to work till 9:30, then I got to get to the studio at 10, and I got a 3-hour session. So the engineer might be sleepy, just like just trying to, crunch all your time together. You know what I mean? Really, I think the money aspect for music and all that buys your time. And you make your own time. You can work out how to make your time squeeze and work. But like, I think the money is important because it buys you extra time. And that's like the time, hopefully, that you're putting into making more stuff, you know what I'm saying? Or like,
yeah, it's like trading. It's basically like it's money, but it's like you're trading it for other things.
Exactly. And like, to answer your question, it's like you're not necessarily making all your money from verses, but that's just another bag to reach over at and stuff. And so the paywall hits when you reach out to somebody that like, it's like, man, you would really sound good on this, and like they're just like, bet I could do it for you for like $600, and it's just like, then it's on me to be like, okay, bet, I can, save my ducats to like get to that, and then boom, hit you up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just so funny because like my podcast is an art form if you think about it, but compared to artists, I can reach out to big artists and be in the room with them for free. Versus, like like even someone who might be like a very low tier artist, but he has some type of juice, and like people know him somehow. Like he's associated. Like who's a good example? Like fuck, I have so many artists. Like I would say like Dom Kennedy. Let's say Dom Kennedy like 8 years ago. He was still popping, but he was low tier kind of, right?
But he had juice, yeah.
Yeah, but so if I could have easily gotten an interview with him.
Yeah.
But if you had reached out, he'd still be like, "Oh, that's still like $5,000 or some shit."
I'm getting charged. You know what I'm saying? And like for sure, you know what I mean. But it's like the paywall aspect. I think more is just like if they like the song and want to do it, but then it's like you get hit with a whole bunch of like political junk because of the money, and it's just like, well, oftentimes I get into situations where I want to do a part of a song with somebody and I just think they sound really nice on it, but then if it's just a whole bunch of political problems, or it's money this, or it's like, you trying to get a royalties agreement before we even know if we want to do the song, which I have had that a couple times now, and it's like, man, we don't even know if this song's gonna be hitting. It just puts me in a position where I'll just make the song myself. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I ain't the greatest singer in the world, but it's like, I know some great singers, and if I'm hitting somebody else who's outside of that class of people who I'm just like, all right, that's like a reach up, then I'm just like, man, you don't have to do it. I want you to be a part of it because you want to be a part of it, not because I paid you to be a part of it.
Right.
Like I need like the connections happen, and those connections aren't to be left out because those are how most of my songs happen. A lot of people like to work with me. I love working with people, and like when the vibe is right and somebody hears something and they hit you up like, yo, you know what I mean? Or like, hey, can I call you? Or like, you know what I mean? Or you're just like, man, I really like how this feels. Like, it's like when you get that connection, then yeah, I mean, I'll pay you whatever. Like if I know you love what we're about to do and you're like, man, yeah, for sure, this is tight. I love this. I got this verse already done. You inspire me, bro, but we still got to handle that paperwork. For sure. Whatever it is, sounds great. Cool. What? 2, 3, 5, bet. Boom. Shit. But, we'll get it moving. But it's like, also it's nothing to snuff at. Even if you're rich, you can't just be tossing your racks just to buy people's verses. It's also nice to be in the studio and be like, let me put my other foot in my ass and see if I can produce this other verse, you know what I mean? And you surprise yourself,
Yeah.
So it's tight.
So how do you find artists nowadays to like work with? Like your guest list is like huge. Man. It varies dramatically in my opinion.
Man, shout out to Waffles. Waffles always puts me on. That's the homie Josh. Like Waffles always is tapped in with who's like making new music and always sending me new stuff to like listen to. Always, coloring my palette. And there's just so much new music out all the time. And I really like to like when I'm listening to something and something really catches my ear, get their names, see how long they've been putting music out, like see who they collaborate with, stuff like that. And so it's usually just been like that. Like, man, I think I was talking to Grimeshine like either this morning or a few hours ago about a song that we did. And then I was telling him like, oh, I got the singing part. It's kind of cheesy, but like maybe it just sounds cheesy because I'm doing it. You know anybody? Then he sent me a name of a person. I went to their page, listened to their joints, was like, oh, okay, cool. I see why he said she was cool. sent her the joint, and so hopefully tonight, she'll send me something back, or tomorrow, or whatever day. So it just kind of happens like that, or I just know somebody. I'm never like shopping. You know what I mean? It's never like who's gonna move me, or like what's gonna do the numbers. It's never like that. It's usually like I have an idea and people sound dope, and like I think one of those dope people will make something super tight. I love to work with Dave Shanae. Shout out. Used to be Mr. DC, but Dave Shanae, he's tight.
Man, he changed his name?
Yeah, he just switched it up. But I don't even know if I'm supposed to be saying that. I don't know, Dave. We met a couple times, but
we were supposed to do a fucking interview during Thanksgiving even.
He just did a song. I think he dropped it today or last night.
Perfect timing for an interview.
Called Donde. Yeah. And it was on a Seattle World Tour. They got the live performance. Shout out to Seattle World Tour. Taylor Hart's kicking it with us. She's the homie, man. And they just do a lot of cool stuff. I think they donated like 1,000 pounds of clothes. Don't quote me on stuff. Let me not start talking about that. Shout out to Seattle World Tour.
10,000 pounds?
No, not even like for real. y'all go check them out. I'd love to do something with him. I've been working with Grady. Grady's super tight because he's like one of them like scientist musician people. I don't know why I call him that. It's just people who like are just like really into like sounds and stuff. You could just tell when people just get really caught up in sounds and like are also like technically good. Like
goes in one ear and out the other, like bouncing back.
Man, like shout out Vitamin D, because he's like musical mad scientist. He just be like flipping stuff, and he's just got the library of knowledge, and like he can just like take some sounds and stuff and like hear what you talking about and then just make a beat, and like he's just like a hyper creative, you know what I'm saying?
And how'd you meet Vitamin D, by the way?
Man, that was I met Vita when we were trying to get some beats from him. Man, was this like 2017 maybe?
Wow.
I'm not sure what exactly year, but like I was running with Yodi Mac, shout out to Yodi, and Waffles, and we were in the group Bad Yoshi. And at that time I was rapping in Scribe Mecca. And at that time we went over to Vita's to get some beats. I think Alex Lunt hooked up that one. And then he like, I don't even know if they were throwaway beats. I don't know if there's such thing as throwaway beats. But he was like, I got some beats I could listen to. And he gave us like a pack. And then we listened through them. And like everything we heard, we was like, man, we gotta make like a perfect song to this. We gotta do it right. Because like, if we send Vita something whack, blah, whoop de woo, we gotta do it right. And then I think we did Lift My Dogs. I think I did a song called Hotbox. I think Vita produced that. And then the song Head Up that's on my Blake Anthony album was a beat I got at that same time. I think we might have got one more beat. Maybe it was What Is This? But Lift My Dogs, I think, is of those four, I think Lift My Dogs was the one that Vita liked the most, perhaps. I never asked him, so I'll ask you. If you listen to this Vita, I'm going to ask you.
And these guys are all from the Seattle area, correct?
Yeah, Yodi's from Idaho. Vita's Seattle legend. Waffles... he's been bouncing around kind of like me and stuff, but when I met him out here, he finished in college out here and stuff, and been living here. And then I've been out here 7-8ish years now. But yeah, man, shout out to Vita, shout out to Yodi, shout out to Bad Yoshi, man. That was a good time. Yeah, man, we opened it for like Joey Badass. We met Black. That was cool. We did some stuff. We was at Wazoo, had some crazy parties.
Dude, you're gonna like the music selection I picked for you then.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
I could just tell like what your energy was.
That's smooth.
Hell yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah. But yeah, dude, rapping out here has been cool, man. Rapping out here is so cool. Everybody's really inviting.
Some people say there's like walls up between, and there's like clicky sometimes.
Man, it's like. When I say inviting, I think as inviting as it can be, just because of the environment out here. Because I don't even think people like mean to be cliquey. I don't think it's like a conscious thing. I just think people was like maybe trained into that. Like that just happened. It was like a nature nurture thing out here. Because like I don't know what it is. I think it's just like you just being there's so many different sections of the same cities that are so different. Like Tacoma, there's like different areas, you know what I'm saying? If you're on the east side compared to north end, compared to, Hilltop, it's just like stuff like that. And then like in Seattle, and then like also so many different musicians and types of musicians and people being weird. Like, me and my girl like kind of weirdos, and then it's like, you know, it's just like everybody's just so different, and I feel like there really is like this kind of like hyper kind of melting pot vibe going on out here, with definitely a whole bunch of salt. You know what I mean? But everywhere, but that's just what it is. But it's just like I don't know. It's like I can't tell that. I think people mostly are just socially awkward. I think everybody is to a degree, and some people are cooler at handling that than other people.
Yeah.
You know, I like to be social, but I'm definitely pretty socially awkward.
Bet you're just a big old nerd.
Definitely, dog. You know, definitely, man. And I like, when I go outside, I really just hope people just know that off base, so it doesn't have to be a surprise. Cause like, I hate when it's a surprise. Like, I hate when like I'll be talking to somebody and they'll bring up Dragon Ball Z, and then I'll like nerd out a little bit, and then it's like, oh, I don't even watch it like that, and then I'm like, oh yeah,
me neither, man.
Like, yeah, you know, it's cool.
Whack.
I seen a little bit, you know what I mean? But it's like, you gotta like pull back, because you over here like, yeah, remember when such and such happened? And you're like, oh yeah, chill out, calm down. You're supposed to be being cool. You a rapper. Yeah, you just relax, just be quiet, drink some Hennessy. You know what I'm
my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? My girl is a super extrovert though. She like, shout out to Jess, she be like painting and like trying to be outside, kick with as many people as possible, and she just draws energy from being around energy.
Yeah.
You know, and I honor that, because that's so tight. You know, that charges me up, versus me, I need like a lot of cave time, and I need to be able to come out with like what I've produced, you know.
Wow.
So, you know, that's cool.
For your first album under Blake Anthony, what was it called again? It
was Blake Anthony. Oh, I did an EP
with the Star Galaxy something. Right?
Oh, Genzo Star. I think I was still Scribe Mecca. Then I did Black Anthony and Blake Anthony. That's like my Blake Anthony's here vibe. And then I did and then Star Stereo. Yeah.
Because let me just look this up. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Because the album I'm thinking of, I feel like you were going through like this is a compliment, but also like something I've seen like growth wise.
Yeah.
So with the Blake, and this is on Spotify.
Yeah.
So where is it? Yeah, Genzo Star.
Yeah, Genzo Star, man.
I feel like you were heavily inspired by Kid Cudi with that album.
Oh yeah. You know,
were you?
I heard that a couple of times. I think that's one of them passive inspiration. Shout out to Cutter, man. Shout out to Scott. But it's like yeah, I think I'm just overall kind of inspired by Kid Cudi. And I think in that album, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Whoa. Hell yeah, man. He was one of my favorite freestyle artists too. But I want to say Genzo Star time was, was that around Trump's election? No, that was when we did Blue Room. Anyways, I was more like focused on like, I'm like broke rapper in the basement underground. That's what's it like. I kick it with all these people, you know, like we in this spaceship. So we all trying to take off on this spaceship. And the whole Genzo Star thing was like, that's the ship we got. So we was characters in the story, and like we went and got this ship from Spike Spiegel. And when he let us get this ship, we took off with it, and we flying through space trying to get to Planet Kush. And then our ship gets attacked by like Machine World and stuff. And like that's like the whole storyline of Genzo. But like that was like us being like rappers together and like kind of collaborating with people in the town around us and being like, we all just trying to blast off and like do our thing and stuff. I feel like that album feels super young to me. But then I was listening to Blueberry Swishers today, and I was just like, man, I remember when we shot that song. So yeah, I was like, it was Cudi-esque, but I think I was trying to rap more, like on paperwork on there, and like oh man, TA7, Tajane, man. Shout out to her. I think that was the last feature she ever did before she stopped rapping.
Why'd she stop?
Shit, she probably gonna reemerge too sometime. I don't even want to say too much, but like I knew she just stopped because she just wanted to get some stuff online. So I don't even know if she's like done. I don't even know if she's done rapping. I just know she like took a little step out. But yeah, Genzo was like a young, getting my feet wet, trying to figure out what I want to do.
Right.
Get some albums started, like, you know, and then had like I was gonna be like a whole anime thing. I couldn't get it laced up. So if you listen to the skits, you can kind of hear us traveling through space and like going to Planet Kush, and we go to Planet Kush and we get all the Kush, and then we fly it back, and then Pimp Skabibble steals the ship at the end. The Blueberry Swisher is when I'm rolling up the Kush from Planet Kush, you know. And then cut to Star Stereo. Star Stereo just came out. It's like
November 18th, correct?
Yeah, shout out. That album is like, we done got jobs in space, and that's like me and Waffles and Jess. We all kicking on the ship. Ash is on there, and so we listening to a radio station while we flying through space, and it's Star Stereo that we're listening to. So all those commercials was made in house, stuff like that, you know. Yeah,
my previous guest I just had on was this guy named Joe Jazz.
Yeah,
and a lot of people try to like box him in as a Tyler the Creator wannabe kind of.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was talking to him about like how he definitely is himself, but that's just like the easiest way people can compare him to another artist, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, with you, I can kind of see the Kid Cudi-esque vibe, but then after that album, you're just yourself, like completely. Like there's just
that's what's up.
You're just Blake Anthony.
I'm glad you feel that. I definitely appreciate that. And I do think it's still a work in progress. Blake Anthony, the eternal work in progress. It should be like the next album. But like, no, it's like
Attorney Atake. Oh wait.
Just eternity change or something like that. But like it's like, I don't know. It's like when Yodi wanted to kind of step out, stop rapping. He's about to have a kid, man. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like the life changes, everything is moving. You know what I mean? And you know, you rapping, and when you're not rapping, you thinking about rapping, and then you're writing raps, and then you're like, well, you know, do I want to put this out? You know what I'm saying? It's like the creation of the music part never stops. It's all about like the releasing, and if you want to release it, because it's like, if I just wanted to stop making music, I'd still be making music, just not putting it out, I guess. So that's what kind of struck me around the transition time to just being Blake Anthony. Is I was like, well, I just like do this. And then I started watching more anime again too. At like the same time, I was just like, yeah, it's like all this is just like a part of my life. Like these are all just things that just are me. And so I've been more intentional about trying to tap into like what I want to do at pretty much any time.
Right.
And just trying to like, not necessarily mold that into how can this be productive, but like trying to make sure I like, well, I want to do this, and then enjoy doing that, and then be like, you know, in the long run, something happens. Like I remember I was watching Mob Psycho, and I got to like the end of Mob Psycho, and around like the last couple episodes, I like wrote all these songs, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna start this mixtape, and it just happens like that. The two things don't ever like necessarily need to be connected, but like the one thing will lead to the other, you know.
But like, are you fine with, like, for me at least, I can't see myself settling down in any way unless I'm successful. You know, like some people are like fine with it. Like as you continue to grow, you see some people who are very passionate about music or whatever being like, yeah, I like it, but now it's a hobby. And then fast forward 5 more years. Yeah.
It's tapered off. Yeah.
Like
man.
That is such a, I don't know why, but that's something that like scares the fuck out of me. I don't want it. And I'm not going to be someone who's chasing things forever. Right.
Right.
But like I need milestones that I need to complete.
You know what? And it's about,
but everyone wants that at first. So
right. But it's about like creating realistic milestones, not like squelching or like shortening your goals to be like, oh, maybe this isn't realistic. Like not that, but like, you know, if you set big goals, also set mid goals. Mid goals are downplayed, man. People don't set enough mid-level goals. You know, everybody trying to be Super Saiyan, ain't even trying to be Kaioken. You know, like you gotta learn to power up and fly first. But I ain't even saying like, I'm also saying don't baby yourself. Like don't be like, all right, well if I'm in the studio once a week, I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like not like. Also, if that's your goal, then that's cool. That's your goal. But you also got to understand consequences come with everything. And consequences is a word that's always given like a negative connotation, but really like, nah, it's just consequences is just the result. It's just another term for result. So if you just doing one studio session a week, if it's your home studio, like if you're doing this for free, if you're paying for it, I understand, you know, get your money. Don't try to be in the studio every week. But like, if you got a studio, like capability to record at home and you're trying to do this once a week, then it's like that once a week needs to be hitting on all cylinders for you. Like that once a week needs to be like, ultimately what it comes down to is at the end of the day, you know how hard you worked. And it can be an anxiety thing where you always feeling like, oh, I didn't do enough. And that's not what I'm talking about. Like after you do, back to the once a week example, after you do your once a week, did you feel good? You know what I'm saying? Did you work on something and did you walk away from that? And like maybe you recorded some demos and they all sound kind of bunk. And so you scratch those and then you record something else. You didn't really finish that. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, you walk out the studio kind of like, I didn't really make a song, but like, how do you feel? You know what I'm saying? If it's measurement of time, some people, I know for a while, I was doing my measurement based on like hours a day, where I was like, well, shit, I put 6 hours into the studio for 4 days out of this week. So we're been in the studio damn near 24 hours, like a whole day's worth of time. And I was feeling good about that when I was working full time. So I was like, okay. And then like, you know, I did like a little 2-a-days challenge a couple years ago where I was doing it. And like, you know, boo on me for not like posting it more and sharing it with everybody so everybody could be interactive with me. But for me, it was like I needed that milestone, so to speak, for myself. Like I needed to see like, how much do I care about this? Cause I was like, you know, doing whoop-de-woo with females and like just all kind of, I was drinking crazy. I was just being stupid for a while and just being like, not even doing nothing super reckless. I was just like, you know, I just wanted to see, I had to test myself to figure out what my productivity meant to me. And then after I did that, I was like, oh, okay, that was cool. And it was kind of like this like achievement unlock type thing where I was like, okay, there's a tier that I can operate at. I know I can trust myself if I'm feeling down and I feel like I ain't been in the studio. Then I know I can go into the studio and maybe knock out 3 songs, boom, 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 you know what I'm saying? And be like, okay, cool, you know, and be 3 songs that I really like. But that milestone gave me that confidence. And that was a mid-place milestone. That wasn't no like, I'm about to start doing 2 songs a day.
Right. Indefinitely.
Like, that's just how I rap now. And anybody ask me, I've always been doing 2 songs a day. Like, nah, I was just like, you know, it was really like, I don't like New Year's resolutions, so I'm going to start this like last week of November. And then I'm going to do 2 songs a day all the way through the 2nd of January or something like that. And then I ended up coming out of that with like 60 plus songs and this kind of like validation in myself that nobody else could give to me. And but outside of extremes like that, if it's even like get up in the morning and trying to be like, I want to at least spend 20 minutes listening to new music, you know, goals like that can just keep you in orbit and what you're trying to do, you know, but you got to feed yourself, you know what I'm saying? I heard this quote, I don't know who said it, but it was about like, everybody's trying to, you know, read more books and get book smart, but they're not thinking about that it's the books that you decide to read. It ain't, I'm gonna read a book every day. It's like, nah, bro, you need to be like, I'm gonna read this book or I'm gonna read this. I didn't read Dante's Inferno because I wanted to reference it, but I referenced Dante's Inferno because I read it, because I've always had that interest of it, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know, but if I read a book on biochemistry, I'm not about to be rapping like, cells and mitochondria. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But you gotta be strict and like
you do, but you also can't be punishing yourself,
right? Because
if you,
there's such a
that's the spiritual, this back to spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Man, Waffles meditates, man. And like, I'm glad that he does, because he be having this clarity about him. And it's not just for meditation. Waffles does a lot of things. Like he does daily pages where he just writes the flow of his thoughts, a full page's worth every day before he gets started doing things for the day.
Now, are these people like whether it's an actual name or not, are these all like a collective at this point? These people that you keep mentioning, like Waffles and all these people, are these?
Well,
they're your friends and everything. I've seen them on your music.
Yeah,
and,
you
mention them in interviews. But would you consider you guys yours like as a collective at this point?
No, not even really. It's more like the Avengers, where it's like, you know, we come together to save the world, but like we all got our own stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Me and Waffles definitely like have been living together and working together for years now, you know what I'm saying? Like that's definitely like my my man, dog. That's my homie. You know, and then my girl's with me and my brother's living with me, and we moved my mom out here from Texas. She was like getting sick in Texas, but she been bouncing back on her feet ever since she started living with us, and she about to get her a house. So that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? But it's like all the people I collab with, it's usually always a humbling experience for me for them to be like, oh, hell yeah, I rock with this. That's the point when I'm just like, oh, wow, like, oh, this is about to be tight. You know, like when Bruce was down to get on that song, man, I was like, oh, man. Oh, this is about to be tight. Like I don't even need to hear the demo. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as Bruce said yes, I was like, that's probably gonna be one of my favorite tracks on the joint.
Wow.
You know, and like we ain't got no collective, nothing. You know what I'm saying? We just been in the same spaces, kind of like a mutual respect for each other. I recognize him as one of my favorite rappers in Tacoma. You know what I'm saying? Also, the I'll Fight You guys, man. Chris P, Glenn, man, Frank, everybody. Like Tacoma got so many people out there that's just like. I just love, I will always have a place in my heart for Tacoma, no matter where my life takes me, you know what I'm saying? Just like Topeka. And I lived my like youth in Topeka, but I left Topeka when I was like 11, I want to say. And then I went to Florida, and after I went to Florida, I basically never lived in Topeka again.
Wow.
You know? And so like, it's like, ain't even no collective. It's just homies who got mutual respect. And it's this scene out here, man. Like it's this scene. There are the walls, but I think the walls are like this kind of like defense mechanism, because I don't even think they're meant to really cut nobody out of nothing. And I think cliques happen because people feel safe around the people that they got. And it is true, you can't just trust anybody. So when you do find some people that you can trust, it's easy to be like, okay, well, this is us, and we're going to operate over here, and we're going to get this bag over here, and then, you know, we're going to do our thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know? But I don't think the cliques is meant to make people not like nobody.
You say you're an introvert, but I really feel like relationships are definitely like an important aspect of your life, and surround yourself with people that are either like-minded or open-minded, at least.
But definitely, you know what I'm saying? I guess, yeah, it's like, yeah, I definitely need people, straight up, because like I could not do this alone. You know, believing in yourself is hard enough to do alone, but it must be accomplished at all costs.
Yes.
But yeah, for sure, like the introversion doesn't keep me from loving and wanting people to be around me. It's just I hit my wall when it's like, you know, me and Jess' first date was at the Crocodile it was a Kung Fu grip. No, actually, I think it was just Mr. Hentai. And then
is the Crocodile gone now, by the way?
I think it's just moved, or I don't know if they got reset up. They closed down the old one, and they were talking about getting a new space, and I don't know where it is, but
I hope they get it.
It's cold-blooded because I didn't get to go over there for like our anniversary and like do a little like, we smoked this joint in the alley of the Crocodile. Then we went in. You know, I never met Macintosh performed. That was a hype night, man. That night was hype. It was a good performance at the Crocodile too. But yeah.
Are you managed, by the way?
Nah, we do everything DIY. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta hold it down. But
look at you though.
I don't need to be managed, man. I got people, man. I love my people. Everybody who works for me, everybody who takes time to answer my messages, read my emails. I know I be typing long ass emails sometimes. I'm sorry, I'm working on that. And like, you know, just anybody who, man, if I send you a message or I send you something, and
respond to that shit.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, straight up though, don't play. You see my name, open that. But
respect my name.
But it's like, but for real though, like anybody who is open my shit and open it and didn't just leave me on scene but responded, like I appreciate you because you're really like pushing me forward, and like all y'all are the reason that anything's how it is, man. Like Star Stereo is fully produced by Croup. I only met through DJ Grumble, because DJ Grumble wanted Croup to mix the Black Anthony mixtape, which is 2 albums before Star Stereo. And then Croup mixed Black Anthony and then hit me up like, yo, this is tight. I'd like to do an album with you.
Wow.
And, you know what I mean? And none of that happens if I don't meet DJ Grumble. And that don't happen if I don't work at the Surimi plant making imitation crab.
It all makes sense. It's the universe. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like it's crazy like that. It's crazy like that.
Would you say
crazy like that?
Would you say DJ Grumble is like a catalyst in your career?
Yeah, it's like one of them. DJ Grumble was definitely a big catalyst in my career. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Daryl XL. I say he was too, but I guess I didn't meet Daryl without meeting Grums. But I wouldn't have met Grums
if I wasn't born, if my mom and dad didn't meet each other.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to Dad. Also, today's my dad's birthday too. Shout out to Dad. Happy birthday, Pop.
Happy birthday.
I hollered at him. He was going to get some dinner and stuff.
What?
You know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing. He out in Texas now, but you know, he's from LA, so you know, I know he really want to be at the club. He trying to act like I don't do that no more, son. I'm grown now. I'm like, what that mean, man? You the most dancingest 6'4", 300-pound dude I ever met. But yeah. Anyway, shout out to Pop, man. I love you, man. Snap.
Yeah, man. But like Spotify. That's how I found you, man.
Yeah.
Like Spotify. People don't give enough credit to like the Spotify like radios and playlists.
Yeah,
man.
for sure, man. And you bump Genzo, man. I'm glad that you like Genzo. That's one of my favorites. That's the only album I got Keezy Baby on. I don't know if you know Keezy. He's tight. He's like a producer / rapper / he just do everything. I think he's like mixing and mastering too. Like, man, people get multifaceted like that. I just be mind blown because I be trying to make my little beats and stuff, and I be mixing some songs, but I'm just like, man, I like this. Like this is gonna be like a half decade or a decade of work. You know what I'm saying, to get cold at this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And like,
it's crazy. I say there's certain artists that are like under certain rocks. Not saying like they're like rocks, meaning I lift it up and then there's a clique of artists.
Yeah.
And like you're actually the new rock I have found.
That's what's
I listen
up,
to your
man.
music and there's all these artists I haven't even thought of reaching out to or even knew who they were.
That's tight, man. That's good to know. That makes me feel good, man. You know, I know y'all got Greg coming through today. Shout out.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Greg. I rarely run into him too, man. It's like that's the good thing about Seattle is
we should do your freestyles back to back, maybe. Then.
I mean, hey. Anyway, shout out to Greg. But like, oh snap! I can't wait till shows start up again. You know, hopefully we can all be respectful and safe. You know what I'm saying? Still masked up and kicking it, and you know, whatever capacities. But like, I just can't wait to be able to walk into a place and be kicking it, and you know, bump into Taylor, and you know what I'm saying, dap up with Black Skin, and you know what I'm saying, see such and such and whoop-de-woo, and you know, pay too much for a beer that just tastes like piss.
Oh gosh,
you know what
the
I'm
good old
saying?
days.
And like the sound system could have been better, but it's loud and you hype, you having a good time, and like they brought out the live band and Buddy on keys and bass. Dude on the bass is killing it. Buddy on keys is killing it. You just rocking and grooving, you know what I'm saying? You vibing. Like that's what I'm looking forward to. That's when you see the people and you bump into people and stuff. Shout out to Nobi running him the KXP show. Like
Nobi's one of my favorite artists I've had on the podcast.
Yeah, man. Nobi's good peoples, man. And like it's just cool having been able to live out here in Washington and connect with so many people that like, you know, I never imagined meeting, especially working with, you know. Shout
out Shrimi. It's all from that.
Straight up, man. It's wonderful.
Man. Yeah, that's Blake and Blake. It's been awesome, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Serendipitous your name was Blake and you Blake B, man. That's like
and both black.
The universe telling you the religion of the universe. That's all you need in your life.
Hell yeah. And
water. Just drink water.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite water?
Tap water. Washington tap.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not in Texas. You can't do that. You got to get the bottle. Shout out to Dante.
Well, Blake Anthony, what is some advice that you have for up-and-coming artists, creators, influencers?
You know what? Try to find a way to hone in on who you truly are, because ultimately that's who everybody wants to see. That's what everybody wants to be a part of, you know. They really don't want to create a crafted picture, especially the further we get into the digital age, because that is a given now. Everybody already knows something is up with what they're seeing on their screens and stuff. People want that genuine juice. People want to know
organicness.
Yeah, people want to know you touch the ground just like them and you breathe air just like them. People want to know what's good with you. So try to be you and do you. That's all you got to do.
Hell yeah. And what is the easiest way for people to reach you?
Oh, man. You can get at me on Instagram, Blake Anthony. That's Anthony without the O. Twitter, same thing. I get on my Instagram DMs a lot more. You email me beats and stuff like that. BADescribe@gmail. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be around. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably be on the bus. You might not even know that's me. You know what I mean? I'll be wearing my do-rag and stuff. So you know what I'm saying? You know, just don't walk up on me and ask me to rap. Like don't do that. You know, unless you got a beat and you just start rapping, then you know I'll probably rap with you. You know, but like don't just be like, oh man, you be rapping, man. Let me hear something. Like, let me hold something, homie.
And do you want to promote your new song that just was released?
Oh yeah, Cosmos just came out. Shout out to I Dream of Tyra. I think they're both out in Australia. It's a house joint. It was funky too. It was bouncing. I'm talking about all kind of sex. But
and the music video was dope too.
Yeah, it was crazy. Shout out to Umiko. Umiko is tight. Yeah. Man, all that stuff just kind of came together, man. And like that was tight. I really like on that. And I got this housey joint by Byrocratic that just came through. I've been kind of on some like I'm really trying to get people dancing because like I really look forward to being back out on stage. And then being able to just have something that's bouncing and I can just be spitting and everybody's moving. Like I'm trying to see people moving again. Like I'm trying to be a part of people bouncing and like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, go bump Star Stereo if you ain't listened to that yet. Star Stereo by Croupdawg and BA. And then other than that, Jello Cake just came out and that's a move. So you'll find all that on Blake Anthony, you know, Spotify, Apple Music, Airwaves, Universal, wherever you listen to music.
Hell yeah.